Cars in Grand RP feel and drive very differently compared to the cars in vanilla GTA 5 Online, and in this video I'll tell you which cars are truly worth buying if you're a beginner on a tight budget. These are going to be the 10 best cars that you can buy in Grand RP right now in 2025, and while you might have to do a bit of grinding at first, trust me, the results will be well worth it, as every single vehicle on my list offers something unique and comes with a ton of customization options that lets you personalize your vehicle and truly make it stand out from the crowd. Also, if you've yet to join Grand RP, you can do so by clicking the link in my description box or in the pinned comment, which will take you to the Grand RP website where you can create an account and register for free. After that, it's as simple as downloading the client and playing the game. Plus, if you sign up using my link, you'll also get a free starter vehicle and some in-game cash, and if you're on English server number 1, you can even join the Hazard Gang, which is my family on there, and you'll get access to both the family house as well as family vehicles. Alright, so the first vehicle on my list is an Ocelot Sportster, and it's called the Jugular. And yes, it's the very same Jugular that was introduced to GTA Online with the Diamond Casino update back in 2019, but here in Grand RP it handles and performs very differently, so don't expect it to be a carbon copy of the one that you're familiar with. The main difference between the Jugular in GTA Online and the one in Grand RP has to be the top speed. Over here, the Jugular is a whole lot faster and can hit speeds in excess of 260 kilometers an hour or approximately 160 miles per hour on the highway, and that's before any upgrades whatsoever. And once you throw in a few engine upgrades, new tires, new transmission, new brakes, this car will absolutely rip a hole through space and time, and you can get it for just $2 million brand new at the dealership, so it's definitely a whole lot cheaper than some of the supercars that you can buy in Grand RP, which tend to cost over $10 million. But this 4-door sports car can be yours for a fifth of that price and comes with seating for 4, which makes it one of the better family vehicles in Grand RP. The fuel tank holds 70 liters and the trunk space is just 12 cells, which isn't all that much, but for a starter vehicle, you really can't fault the Jugular too much because this isn't a cargo hauler. It's meant to look cool, sound good, and drive really fast in a straight line. And speaking of things that go fast in a straight line, our next vehicle, the Gauntlet Hellfire, fits that role perfectly here. This is obviously a Dodge Challenger SRT Demon, just like the one in GTA Online, but like most other vehicles in Grand RP, it has a couple of nuances that separate it from the Rockstar version. For starters, you can customize this vehicle well beyond what's possible in vanilla GTA Online. There are insane amounts of options for both performance and visual mods, like custom superchargers, air intakes, exhausts, roll cages, wheelie bars, racing seats, and so much more. And you get way more liveries and paint jobs with this car as well, so you can turn your Hellfire into the perfect drag racing machine. This car doesn't have the highest top speed, much like its real-life counterpart, but it can pull harder than most Lamborghinis and Ferraris in Grand RP, and it looks amazing, which is all that really matters when you buy a purpose-built muscle car such as this one. Car number 3 on my list is the Truffati Chiron, and in terms of performance, it's a stark departure from the muscle car shenanigans of the Hellfire. While the Chiron probably weighs as much as the Hellfire, it also has all-wheel drive and a lot more power to work with, not to mention the fact that there's also a lot more grip in those super wide tires. Plus, it has an active spoiler on the back to keep you planted on the ground. Not that it's much of a use when you're doing 400 kilometers an hour through the streets, but hey, at least it looks cool. I also like how the Chiron has a very high damage threshold before it starts losing speed. You can smack this car around and run into the trees all day before you drop speed, and the interior is absolute fire as well. Very similar to the in real life car with how the instruments and the dash gauges are designed. Even the upholstery is a carbon copy of the real life car, and I just like seeing these little details like this in my roleplay game. It makes me feel a lot more immersed. Progen is next on my list at number 4 with one of their most amazing flagship vehicles, the P1, and this is a 1-to-1 replica of the real-life P1, which itself is the successor to the legendary McLaren F1. To get this thing, you're gonna have to open a whole lot of P1 crates, and you'll probably end up spending something like $10 million, but it will be worth it, as the P1 is one of a kind in Grand RP. There's nothing else that looks like this car, and certainly nothing that goes like this car. It's lightweight, agile, accelerates really hard, and is no slouch in the top speed department either when you stand it up against giants like the Truffati Devo or Chiron. Vehicle number 5 is the Ubermacht M3 E46, which is basically an E46 BMW M3, and it even comes with the signature kidney grills. Looks beautiful. Not only is this one of the best looking cars on the server, in my opinion, but it also handles exactly like how you'd expect a BMW M3 of its time to handle. It's precise, highly responsive to your inputs, and even when you're on the absolute limit of grip, it still hangs in there and gives you plenty of room to wiggle around without actually crashing. The Grand RP version of the E46 M3 has a state price of $380,000, which I think is a bargain for what you're getting here, and in its stock configuration, it'll easily go 230 kilometers an hour or about 142 miles an hour on the highway. That of course changes once you add pro engine upgrades, a new transmission, turbos, things like that, but even without a chiptune or expensive performance mods, this car handles like a dream. It's also fairly durable, so you won't immediately damage your engine after bumping into a lamppost, and it comes with a fuel tank capacity of 84 liters, which is slightly more than the typical 70-liter fuel tank that you'll see on cars of this class and type. And now for vehicle number 6, it's time to bring in the second Bugatti, aka the Truffati Divo. This thing is a track monster, and it's based on the actual Bugatti Divo hypercar, and it looks like an alien spaceship on wheels. The price is obviously a bit steep, as you'll have to spend something like 400 grand coins just to get one from the container, but that's still not too bad compared to other hypercars like the Huracan Evo 2 or Revuelto. Top speed is well over 400 kilometers per hour, bone stock and on freeways, and you'll easily get over 500 kilometers an hour on the highways with a few upgrades. Just to be clear though, speed metrics in Grand RP are not directly comparable to the ones in GTA Online. So for example, if you have a car that does 150 miles an hour in GTA Online and one that does 200 miles an hour in Grand RP, they're actually covering roughly the same distance in the same amount of time, but the numbers are different because Grand RP is trying to go for a more realistic portrayal of its vehicles, while GTA Online knows that its roads and map size aren't comparable to actual cities, so it deliberately keeps the speed numbers lower than real life so you don't zoom around the entire map in like 2 minutes with your supercar. Car number 7 is actually a luxury vehicle, and it's the Rolls-Royce. I mean, the Inus Phantom. Yes, it's called the Phantom in Grand RP, unlike GTA 5 where it's called the Super Diamond to avoid licensing issues, and this thing is essentially a mansion on wheels because it has 24 trunk cells, close to the max of 30 that you can get in Grand RP, and there's the 83-liter tank of fuel to carry your whole entourage with you no matter where you go in the city. This is the sort of vehicle that you'd use to ferry the whole family with all of your gear packed up in the back. It's a party car, a VIP transport, and a powerful luxury cruiser all at the same time, and it's also really rare, because to buy one of these, you have to collect 100 figurines that are scattered around the map, which is why even a lot of the rich folks on Grand RP servers don't have this vehicle in their garage. And if you somehow collect all the figurines, you can buy yourself a Phantom for $8 million and then sell it for $30 to $40 million easy. So the resale value on this car is excellent, and it looks super cool, which is ultimately what matters in Grand RP. Is it also the fastest vehicle? No, but it's the most luxurious one, and you can even find a tuned up Mansory version with custom visual mods if you open up crates, and that's even more desirable than the regular Phantom. The Coil Cybertruck is also perfect for many of those things, but it lacks the luxurious interior and ride quality of the Escalade, as well as the seating capacity. However, it makes up for that with acceleration. Lots and lots of acceleration, that is, and surprising amounts of grip on corners, despite this being a 3-ton stainless steel behemoth of a car. Also, you get 30 trunk cells, which once again is the max, same as the Escalade, and since this is an EV, it comes with an autopilot feature that lets the car drive itself to the destination while you watch Elon Musk's Sigma edits on Twitter. Also, I just want to say that as ridiculous as a Cybertruck looks in real life, it's even more cartoonish in Grand RP, because when it's driving next to normal cars, it literally looks like a low poly model from a PS1 era game that was awkwardly shoehorned into this game somehow. It's just so much fun to drive and looks unlike anything else, which makes it well worth that $4 million price tag if you're a psycho. Vehicle number 9 is the Canis Camacho, and this is the ultimate hauler in Grand RP, the absolute perfect utility vehicle for gangs and families who like to do their business on the move without fear of running out of supplies in the middle of their job. You can carry enough weapons, ammo, armor, and explosives in the back to equip a small army, and in case your target decides to veer off the roads and into the hills, they'll be horrified to find that not only can the Camacho keep up with them off-road, but it will literally run circles around a normal car on everything from gravel to deep mud. So not only does the Camacho look cool, but it's also an excellent off-road vehicle with seating capacity for 4 players. And you get all this awesomeness for $350,000 only. It's also quite fast on the tarmac and will exceed 200 kilometers an hour in its stock configuration, which is not that bad at all for a Jeep. And then finally at number 10, we've got the Benefactor MG Project 1. A street legal racing machine with a hybrid powertrain taken straight out of an F1 car. The Project 1 is faster than a Chiron off the line, and it handles better in the corners too. The top speed is also comparable, although the Chiron will edge it out on the freeway in a massive straight line because that's what the Chiron is good at. However, anywhere that isn't a 1+ mile long straight piece of road, the Project 1 wins. It's also one of the most elegant looking cars. There are no weird fins or protrusions on the body, and it really isn't trying too hard to look cool. It just does by default. Form follows function, as they say, and nowhere is that more clear than with the Project One, which is easily one of my favorite cars in Grand RP. If you've ever driven the Krieger in GTA Online, imagine that, but looking better and even faster. Like an HSW Krieger, if we got that. That's how the Project One feels in Grand RP. And with that said, those are my top 10 cars that I think you must buy in Grand RP in 2025. The prices may rise or fall depending on market demand, but one thing's for sure, you won't be disappointed with any of these vehicles, as they all have something interesting and unique that they offer. Whether it's the Camacho with its off-road prowess or the Thrax with its blistering speed, you're getting a nice well-rounded collection of cars if you own all 10 of these in your garage, and you'll know you'll be prepared for every situation in Grand RP. Plus, most of these cars that I've showcased can be purchased for under $1 million, except for the absolute top tier ones, so they're actually quite a bit cheap, even for a beginner. As always, don't forget to like the video if you found it informative, subscribe to the channel if you are new and you want to see more GTA RP content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next GTA 5 video. Adios, amigos.